Hello and welcome to the Living History School. Today we're at another local park here, and we're just kind of walking around, and we're looking at the open oak savanna today, and we found what's called an octopus tree, where they used to Indian people would bury people up on the limbs. We'll look at that, and we'll look at just a few other useful plants. This is what's called an octopus tree. You see how the branches are bent out. Northwest Coast Indian people used to use these trees for burials. They would actually tie a person up here when they died into a tree with a limb kind of bent out like that, and with all their gear, and it's kind of like a burial tree. And this one's actually incense cedar, but you can actually find them on the northwest coast, out on the Oregon coast, that are Sitka spruce, and they would also do this, use these same trees. So this is a pretty neat old tree. So long ago, the Calapooya Indians that lived in the Willamette Valley here used to burn this oak savanna. This is the oak savanna area, and we're at another nearby park today, and I have a little picture of a little information sign here showing a picture of the Indians setting fire to this oak savanna grasslands. And what they would do is they set fire to this grassland, and it would burn it off, and then would stop larger fires from actually killing the oak savannas, where they would get the acorns, like you see out here, the oak trees, and this would and then in the springtime, this would buds and shoots would come up, and this would actually promote deer and other animals coming into the valley to feed amongst the oaks. So they have a clear place where they can go out and shoot the deer and get up close, and it was kind of open up under this nice oak savanna area. I'll kind of pan out here and get a shot of that. So one time the Willamette Valley was covered with large patches of oaks, but less than 2% of the white oaks survive today here in the Willamette Valley. So this is camas. These little shoots here, what is basically underneath the ground here is a bulb, kind of like a lily bulb. But camas was the main source of food for the Indians of the Willamette Valley. What they would do is they dig these bulbs up after they would grow up, and then they would flower into a beautiful blue flower. And then once that flower died back, they would come here and with digging sticks and baskets and dig these by the thousands and cook the bulbs of this plant in big fire pits underneath the ground. And so as part of the field burning, or the burning underneath the oaks, it actually helped out the camas, left this area open, and families would come and harvest the camas. And then certain families would actually kind of own the certain camas patches, or villages would own certain camas patches. So here's this will be a nice big patch of big kind of lilies in a few weeks here to a month, and then there'll be big, beautiful blue flowers. And pioneers used to think that this flower was like water. When they came over the valleys in their wagons, they would see this. Came over the hills and looked down the valley, they would see this flower, and they thought it was water down below, but actually it was beautiful camas flowers. And we'll come back here in about a month to look at these. This is old man's beard. This is what I use for fire starting, for some tinder. This is pretty nice stuff because it will lay on the trees and will dry when the sun comes out. Try to get a zoom in on it here. Probably about 2 feet long. This is called othoberry, or Indian plum. This is one of the plants that you can use for making arrows back through the woods. There's pretty much all of this coming up here with the new leaf in the spring, and usually the first to spring out here in Oregon is the Indian plum. And so the shafts you can use for arrows. And you see the nice white flowers. We're just up in the little creek area here, walking around looking at some signs of spring and some native uses of plants today.